wherever you go, whatever they get into. From chill time to everyday adventures, protect your dog from parasites with Credelio Quattro. For full safety information, side effects, and warnings, visit CredelioQuattroLabel.com. Consult your vet or call 1-888-545-5973. Ask your vet for Credelio Quattro and visit QuattroDog.com.
Welcome back for another episode of Reality Life with Kate Casey, and I've got such a great episode for you today. I want to make sure that you are subscribed to that What to Watch list. I've got so many good options for you this week, and I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going to save you so much time. No longer will you have to scroll through your phone. You finally get down to the end of the day and you sit down and you just think, if I could know what to watch, but you end up wasting 20 minutes of that time looking for something. I've got you covered. I'm going to pull the best things from unscripted TV, reality shows, documentaries, and series, real people, real stories, and curate that into a list for you every week. So go to katecasey.substack.com and please share it with the people in your life and also those bonus podcast episodes, because I will bring you stories that are wildly fascinating, but I will also tell you behind the scenes stories about the craziness that happens when you are booking guests for a show like this, and some of the guests behind the scenes stories too. So make sure you are subscribed to both of those. Now, today's episode I was so excited about. You know I love the show Real Housewives of Miami. When the show first premiered in 2011 on Bravo, Marysol Patton stood out, a true Miamian, embodied the city's vibrant cosmopolitan energy. She's born and raised in Miami, and long before she built a reputation on reality TV, she was the founder of one of the city's most respected public relations firms. So she was a fixture in Miami's social and business circles. Deeply rooted in Miami, attended the University of Miami before going on to St. Thomas Law School. So with her vibrant personality and along with her beloved mother, Elsa, she became a breakout fan favorite for her wit and warmth, and made her stand out on the show's original run. So after The Real Housewives of Miami ended in 2013, fans clamored for more. Nearly a decade later, Peacock TV revived the series in 2021, bringing back several of the original women, including Marysol, to much excitement. And this time she returned as a friend of the Housewives, a role she's come to savor and embrace fully. So today, she's married to Steve, a proud father of 2 boys, and she often shares how much she loves being a stepmother and part of a blended family. In this episode, she opens up about her journey from publicist to reality TV personality, a role that she never would have imagined, and also what it's like to return to the Housewives franchise years later and why her current role suits her life perfectly. And she also shares great stories about her mother and, of all people, Madonna, who was her childhood neighbor. And if you'd like a deeper look into the making of The Real Housewives of Miami, be sure to check out my interview with the show's executive producer, Matt Anderson, in episode 1347, a great back-to-back episode. So listen to this one and then go back and re-listen to it or listen to it for the first time so you can hear about how the show came together in 2011 and how it came back in 2021. So I love this conversation, a behind-the-scenes conversation about how the franchise was made, and in this case, about the story behind one of the cast members. So here is my interview with Marysol Patton. Marysol, I'm so excited to talk to you because I've been watching the show from the very beginning, and I always love to get a better sense of someone's life, and I feel like you've been a little bit mysterious, and in learning more about you, I'm almost surprised that a lot of it doesn't come up on the show. Welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure to be here. First of all, so my character on the show is a friend, so I don't really share a lot. I'm just a friend of the girls, and I'm a good girlfriend, so I'm just a girlfriend to the girls. Yeah, it's very hard to be a housewife. You have to bring a lot to the table. So I feel like that's just a little too heavy for me, and I don't have that much to bring. So I just kind of stay in the friend mode.
Do you ever feel like that? Like when the discussion comes up for another season, I mean, all of the women kind of have to talk about what's going on in their lives.
Right.
And it seems like in talking with Matt Anderson that a big part of your life is actually your home life. And so Steve has kids, and he noted in the episode that you're really close to them and spend a lot of time. And they get what I remember he said was that they get a big kick out of you. And so you're also having to respect that other people in your life choose to live a private life. Does that weigh heavy in how much you can be available for filming or to the other cast members or be part of the show?
Oh, no. So the boys, they're in school and they're busy. And I'm always filming during the day anyway. And, they've been kind enough to accept their new stepmom that has this crazy reality show. And they've participated here and there where they can. They're just so polite. And they're such cool kids. But, they're not troubled. They're not good TV. They're just straight A students, popular kids. And, my husband's a really kind, normal person. It's just not, they're not good TV. The problem is that I came into their lives. And so, I ask them, I'll be like, hey, can you do this? Can you do that? They always say yes. But it's not, they're just like really sweet, nice people. And I film a lot. I film just as much as all the other girls. I think that what I know within myself is that I don't have the capacity to take down a friend. Like I can't do that. And I feel like that's some of that feel like that becomes storyline sometimes when people don't have a storyline. Well, I'm going to trash this person. I'm like, but that's your friend. And I love my girlfriends and I am a very loyal friend. And if I had to do that, then no, thank you. I don't want to be a housewife. And you know what I mean? Like, I'd rather just be the friend, the fun friend, throws the parties. You need to talk to me. You need some good advice, maybe some bad advice. You want to get lit. I'm there for you.
Yeah. Well, when I think about you, I think about your mom too, who was such a big character for the time that she was on the show. And if you could just take me back to what it was like for you growing up in Miami, because your mom was Cuban and your father Irish. What's that like? Because Cubans, I think, is so fiery and passionate, which makes watching Real Housewives of Miami so much fun to see a little bit of that. But what's it like to grow up in a house with a Cuban mother and an Irish father?
Okay, so do you remember Ricky and Lucy?
Yeah.
Pretty much. My parents were both like very strong. My dad was a Taurus, my mother was a Virgo. They were very strong, very dominant personalities, very short-tempered, very demanding, very much perfectionist. I grew up in a very strict home, extremely strict. I always went to Catholic schools. Um, I wasn't allowed to sleep over at anybody's house. I always had to have a job. My first job I had when I was 11, I started babysitting, and I've worked my whole life. I grew up in like my dad was like, life is work. It's not fun. Like, he'd come, no one wanted to sleep over at my house because at 6:30 in the morning, he'd be banging on my door. Even if we were out the night before, like drinking and having fun, me and my girlfriends or whatever I was doing, everyone's like, I don't want to sleep at your house. Your dad's going to wake you up and make you wash all the cars. And I
Oh my
want
God,
to
that's
sleep
me.
in.
I had the same life. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Cut the hedges, mow the lawn.
Wash the cars, pump out the boat. It rained inside the boat in the back. Vacuum. It was everything. Go clean my office. No, you can't. You can't have fun. Life is not fun, basically. But my parents were a lot of fun. They loved to drink and party, and they were. It was like a weird dichotomy. I don't know how to explain it.
Your mom had obviously had abilities and seemed very there was a mysticism around her. What did your dad think about that? And then I'm thinking about you and Steve, that I would have to believe that you have your own ability too. And then he's sort of like the straight man too.
Right. So my father totally leaned into it. He was like, my mother would be like, you'd be nothing without me. I brought you where you are.
Long R, yes.
Yeah, the long R. She was very all about like, super positive energy, lighting a lot of candles, incense. She prayed a lot. She would do, boiling pots with cinnamon sticks and honey and like kind of like she would call it the brew, but it's kind of like what you do around Christmas time to make the house smell good.
Yeah.
So she was like yeah, it's like a potpourri. She called it the good luck brew. And I was like, thought it was so good. It's good luck. And then, I started doing it around the holidays because it smelled like Christmas. And then I realized I see on Instagram, it's like a thing everybody does at Christmas. But she was always like, I brought you good luck and you made it where you are because of me. And I think he respected that. And he was a very, very hard worker. He was a very tough, hard person. Very hard. Like nothing was good enough. Like, everything was like, do it over. That's wrong, always.
Do you think that affected the way that you went into your career? Because you built a business in event planning and PR, and you come across as someone who is very detail oriented. So did you pick some of that up from your dad while having the creativity of your mom?
My dad said something to me. If you're going to do something, you better be the best at it. And then I really liked what I did. I loved what I did. And then I became the best at it. Like I literally, me and my business partner, Carol Bell, came out of nowhere. And we just sold all the business in Miami. We got all the big luxury brands that were in New York City. They didn't want to do anything in Miami. They were like, Miami's tacky. They kept looking at the magazines and seeing people partying at nightclubs, and they thought Miami was just a party town. And I said, no, it's rich in philanthropy. There's a lot of wealthy, successful people here. They give a lot of money to charity and they go to a lot of galas and they like to wear the most beautiful clothes and jewelry. And I know who they all are. And then we started bringing all the brands down here. And I opened a lot of stores in Bell Harbor. Merrick Park was my client for a really long time. You name it, I worked with everybody. Roberto Cavalli, Oscar de la Renta, Carolina Herrera, Valentino, Harry Winston, Bulgari was a big client of mine for a long time. I mean, I could go down the list. We blew it out of the water. And there was a lot of big PR firms that came down here from New York and they left. Even the PR firms from New York left because we took all the business. We knew all the people. We knew everybody. The people that were going to buy everything. We were killing it.
How do you think in those early days how Miami may have shifted? Because when I think of Miami, I think of Versace and Madonna and I know like South Beach.
Yeah.
What was it like to work during that time and has it shifted since then?
So back in that time, I wasn't working in my business. So I started my business in like 2002. So in the 90s, I was kind of like still in school, going in and out of school. I got married a couple times. We're not going to talk about that. My really best friend from growing up, he was like 13 years old when we met. We went to high school together. He and my girlfriend Ingrid had met Madonna. So then, my mother was very psychic, and she said to my friend Briggs one time, she started like reading him, just going into a trance and talking to him. And she kept talking about this woman. He's like, that's Madonna. I got to go tell her what you said. So then he goes and tells Madonna. Madonna's like, I want to meet this woman. Bring her to my house. And then he calls my mother and she's like, I don't go anywhere. She come to my house.
She said that about Madonna?
Well, she didn't really know who she was.
That's so funny.
So Madonna's house was like 3 blocks down, her new house in Miami, down the street from us. So from the house now that my mother's that I'm selling. So I'll never forget, she knocks on the door, opened the door, and she had on one of those see-through net tops and a cute little like plaid, like, kilt and like, fishnet stockings and combat boots, crew cut white hair. And I opened the door. I'm like, hi. And she was all like really shrink down and very shy. I'm like, come on in. We all go upstairs. She meets my mom. We're all laughing. We have a really good time. And then she looks at me. I'm going to a Heat game. You want to go? And I'm like, sure. And then we sat up right on the floor with the players. And from that point on, it was like every time she came to town, they were, the assistant would call my mom and say, she's coming to town. She wants to see you. We were at her house like all the time in the 90s. And then I met the Estefans and I met Donatella and I met Gianni and oh my God, so many people, Rupert Everett, Ben Stiller, Brooke Shields, Gwyneth Paltrow, like the list goes on. Because everyone would come through Madonna's house, she'd have parties. And yeah, it was a magical time. But you know what? I was really young and I didn't appreciate it. I was like, oh my God, I'm bored. We have to do this again. I didn't appreciate it. And then she moved away after she met Guy Ritchie. And I literally saw her after a long time, like last year.
Oh, yeah. Wow. What was that like? I'm sure she brought
really
up your
not
mom.
Lovely, beautiful, lovely. I gave her a rosary, like one of my last rosaries I had left to my mother's.
Oh,
because
nice.
She collected them, and I gave one to Andy, and then I had like, I don't know, I think I have like 3 left, and then I gave one to Madonna. And I go, I know my mother would want you to have this. She goes, of course she wants me to have it. That was her response.
When they were looking for people for Real Housewives of Miami, I'm assuming you were one of the first people that kind of came up because you have access to all these people. And having grown up with a father that was in the yachting industry, that probably already set the tone for you to meet interesting kinds of people, the kind of people that they would want to capture on a television show.
Well, actually, so the guy that was doing the casting was an old friend of mine that was really close with my friend Ingrid, who actually, was the Madonna connection. Mm-hmm. And he called my office not for me, because he said, we need your people, like meaning your guest list for this new show. But it wasn't supposed to be a Miami Housewives show. It was called Miami Untitled at the time. And I started calling up my friends and they were all like, hell no. Like their husbands were never going to let them do anything like that.
Yeah.
These are like legitimate, like money. Like they don't need it and they don't want it. They're not looking for that. They're very private. So I don't know, this little voice inside of me started telling me that I should go in my stomach. And by the way, I was extremely shy. So I had a lot of clients. I'd do their store openings. We'd get TV cameras there. And I would tell the client, listen, you need to speak on camera. And they're like, no, you do it for me. I'm like, me? I would start perspiring, my hands at the back of my neck. I'm like, no, me, I'm not doing anything. No, you got to do it. I'm not doing it. It's not happening. And my business partner at the time had said, you hate cameras. And I'm like, I don't know. There's like this something in my stomach's telling me that I need to go. And I listened to that little voice in my stomach. And then I'm going to give you a fast version of what really happened because it's quite unique and odd. So before I went to the casting, it was Donatella Versace's husband's birthday. And in New York, Daniel. And my mother and I were invited and we flew there for the party. Rupert Everett was doing a play on Broadway. And my mother said, oh, you must come and you must meet Daniel. I don't know. I guess they hadn't met at that point. Maybe they had. I don't even remember. So we go to this dinner. The next night we go to a play. Rupert's play. Then we go to the Monkey Bar, which was, what's his name's old place? Merv Griffin.
Oh, okay.
We're in New York. We're laughing because Mom and Rupert are so funny and we're all giggling. And all of a sudden, I'd had a headache for like 3 days. I feel like I'm laughing only out of one side of my face. And I'm like, guys, I feel like I'm only smiling out of one side of my face. And there was a mirror behind the booth. And Rupert goes, darling, you are. And I look in the mirror and I'm like, oh my God. And my mother's like, we gotta go to the hospital. I'm like, no, more drinks. I don't want to ruin the party. The next day, my face is still paralyzed. I'm like, oh my God. My mother's like, we got to go to the hospital. And I said, no, I don't want to ruin the party. Let's just keep going. I'll go to a doctor when I get home. I go home. I go to the doctor. I find out I have Bell's palsy. He's like, you'll be fine. You'll be fine in a few weeks. I go to my casting with Bell's palsy. I'm drooling. Left side of my mouth is drooling. And I'm like, I know you're never going to pick me. I don't even know why I'm here. I know you're going to pick
like,
me.
You're a shoo-in.
I left there and I was like, I don't even know why I showed up. All I did was self-deprecate. And they picked me. It was the weirdest thing in the world. I got picked for this thing that I didn't even know I got picked for. I do a few scenes. I start filming. I do a few scenes. My mom shows up like at the third scene. We're going to Leah Black's gala. She's like, I want to know what you're up to. She didn't tell me she was showing up, but she didn't know what I was doing. And I think it piqued her curiosity. Mm-hmm. And she shows up. I'm at the hair salon with a cane and a fur. I think, I don't even remember what she had on. It was like 100 degrees up. And then when they sent it back to the network, they're like, we love her. We want more of her. And then Elsa was born.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm assuming that the reason they wanted you was, most importantly, you were unapologetically, authentically yourself. If you were to show up and you haven't even gone to the hospital, but you're like, let's just go for a laugh and talk. And you have access to all these interesting people in your life. Of course they would choose you.
I never mentioned the people in my casting. Like, nobody knew that. I didn't talk about that.
But your parents lived in Coconut Grove and you worked in PR. Yeah. It's like, it's no brainer.
I mean, listen, when I walked in, no lie, I knew everyone in town. All those girls that I saw walking out when I pulled up, and they had their drivers, and I knew they had mansions on the water. I'm like, they're not going to pick me. Like, in my gut, I was like, is this a housewife show? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But if that's what they want, I don't have that. I live in an apartment on Brickell. I have my business. I mean, the girls I saw going in and out, I was like, they're never going to pick me. That's why when I walked in, I was like, you're never going to pick me. And I was like, all swollen and paralyzed. I wish someone could find that footage. It's probably hysterical. Yeah. So no, I actually was tapped because I knew people.
Yeah.
I didn't think I would be the people. But again, it's the problem we still have. There's a lot of amazing, very wealthy people in Miami, but they just do not want to be a part of this kind of thing. You know, you really have to expose your life, and they don't need it. For what?
Well, that first group of women that were chosen, did you feel like they highlighted all of the women in Miami? Because I feel like the purpose is for each franchise to showcase the kind of women that live there. So did you feel like they did a good job with the first group?
Yeah, I felt like they did a good job, and I was like, okay, I'm glad I didn't know Adriana, so I didn't know anything about her, but I knew they nailed it with Leah Black. I knew it. Alexia, definitely. You know, she had the whole lifestyle. She had the magazine. Her and I worked together a lot. You know, we knew each other from philanthropy. Her husband was a gem. Herman was an amazing, wonderful human being. Very generous, very philanthropic. And some basketball wives, like, I thought they had it right. The only one I really didn't know was Adriana. But I felt like they got it right, excluding myself. I'm not, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then when they decided to come back in the years in between, did you have concern that it would never come back? Were you hopeful? What was that like to be part of a show and then have it kind of go off the air?
Oh my God, I never thought it was coming back. Lisa and Alexia would say to me year after year, it's going to come back. I'm like, you guys are crazy. It's been 4 years. It's been 5 years. It's been 6 years. It's been 7 years. You guys are nuts. And Alexia would always be like, you're so negative. You're so negative. I'm putting it out there. I know it's going to happen. And I'm like, I just don't think it's going to happen. You guys, it's been 8 fucking years.
Yeah.
Maybe we're like DC. It ain't coming back. Like they believed in it. And, I just didn't. I didn't.
When they came back and they chose this group of women, what did you think? Did you think the same? Like they're getting it right? Because so much time had passed and, you kind of have to keep these shows kind of modern. Did it represent the Miami of right now?
Well, I was like, who the hell are all these people? I knew Julia from before because Julia had come to my office. She had a skincare line and she wanted me to represent her when I had my PR firm. And so that didn't really work out because we weren't cheap and she was spending a lot of money like getting her product in Neiman Marcus. And, it's a big investment when you have a skincare line. And I'm just repeating this because this is a conversation we had after the fact in the future, when we met up again. And so I was like, okay, well, these are cool people to invite to my openings and my events. So I would invite Julia and Martina to my events, but I'd never heard of Nicole or Anthony. I'd never heard of Gertie. I'd never heard of Kiki. Like I didn't know any of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I think Kiki's been amazing. She's a lot of fun. She's great. I really like Julia. I feel bad for everything that's happening right now. And I've gotten to know her and she's a lot of fun and I love fun. And I don't know. I don't know. I mean, I didn't know any of them basically.
When you do film a show like this, do you feel like you get to know them well enough or does it still feel like coworkers?
Well, you know what? I kind of like Alexia's like a really good judge of character. So she's always like, when I like someone, she's like, bro, you're a terrible judge of character. And I'm like, you know what? After a few years, I'm like, you know what? You're really right. So when she tells me someone's nice and she's filtered them, then I'm like, okay, I get to know them. So when we started season 4, I hadn't spoken to Larsa ever. It didn't end well in season 1. And then she didn't come back. And I always felt like she was my arch enemy. And then when we started over and it's something inside of me, maybe it was my mother, talking to me and was like, you need to give it a try. And Alexia kept telling me, I love Larsa. You need to get to know her. And I said, okay, I'm going to do that. And, I love Larsa. I love her to death. She's just like a girl. She's such a girl's girl. I hate that she gets a bad rap with the audience. And, I know if I needed something and I called her, she'd come running. She really would. And then
Stephanie.
Oh, Stephanie. I like Stephanie very much. I like her a lot. I do. I think she's great. It's the greatest thing that ever happened to us, this season. And I hope, if, there's rumors that they're recasting, I hope they find some more Stephanies because she's great. Don't you think?
Yeah. And I kind of like the idea. She made me feel like she didn't really have a lot of girlfriends when she started the show. And
yeah,
I guess what I like about your show is even though you might be quarreling with one another, it feels like dissimilar to other franchises that there is a deep love, even if you don't necessarily think the same way as someone or hang out with them socially, that you're there for each other. And I thought like the way that Lisa, when she admitted to all of you that she was actually going through a lot of marriage problems, that you all kind of rose up for her. And I think that that's why the audience responded so well to the show, because it is important to see women, I think, on TV in complicated life circumstances kind of rise up for each other.
Absolutely. Absolutely. There is a love there. There is a love. I mean, not with everyone because, I've known Lisa since season 2. So I've known her a long time and I care for her and I love her very much. I mean, that's a long friendship. I'll always be loyal to her and always be there for her, whatever she needs. Larsa, I adore. I've come to really love Julia and Martina. They're very nice. I feel bad what's happening to them on the internet. It's awful. But that's the price you pay with these shows, and that's for me, that's why I'm like, I'd rather just stay as a friend.
Yeah.
It's a little safer over in my corner.
Especially because a lot of this stuff was filmed for you. It's so far in the past. So when people watch it, you probably have to like go back and retrace it because you've moved on so long after you filmed it.
I just have to tell you that I'm very good at, I do my scenes, I come home and I forget about it.
Yeah.
I just forget about it. And then I go on my confessionals and then they'll say, okay, so this happened. I'm like, what? I don't even remember. Because I just completely tune out once I come home. I want to have a good time with my husband. It's a job, you know, basically it's a job. But I do love my girlfriends. Not some more than most.
Sure.
Yeah. But I'm very good at disconnecting from it. And I think that's why, for me, the friend role really works. Because if I had to be full-time housewife and I was expected to constantly deliver something that is uncomfortable, I couldn't do it and I wouldn't be able to sleep at night. And I just want to enjoy my golden years with my husband, honestly.
Do you think that there's one archetype of Miami that you wish that they had highlighted in the show thus far?
I think no. I think we've got it all.
That's
I think
good.
I think we have it all. We've got Latinas. Miami is very, 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 very Hispanic. Up north, it's heavy Russian. We have Julia. And then, you need, I mean, Lisa's Canadian, but I mean, I guess I consider that just American, like an American girl.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it's good. You know, we have our Haitian girls. Haiti's a big Haiti, Cuba. They're like right sisters in the Caribbean. Yeah, if they wanted to throw in someone from Venezuela, we have that here too. But we have 3 Hispanics. If I feel like if it was more heavy Hispanic, like New Jersey was heavy Italian, it would be like really, really authentic Miami. But Miami's changing so much all the time, and people are moving here from all over now.
Yeah.
So we're everything and anything.
Now, is it one of those things where you're out in Miami that people pay attention to you, or are people so accustomed to seeing you guys out, or it's kind of a city where there are a lot of celebrities coming and going? Is it a big deal for people in Miami? Like, I'm assuming if you're in LA or New York, people are like, oh my God, you guys are here. But is it like that in your own hometown?
Oh, in New York, they go crazy.
Yeah.
I don't leave my house.
I got to tell you, you have one of my favorite houses of all the Real Housewives.
You do?
Oh, I love it. It's totally right up my alley. Love it.
Oh, thank you. We're actually met with an architect because it's really tiny and we're going to make it bigger. We're going to make it bigger. It's going to be fabulous. But yeah, it's going to be spectacular. We're in a really great spot too. We're like walking distance to the middle of the Grove
nice.
And our yacht club. It's perfect. I like to be in my PJs at home. I do a lot of work from my phone because I have some other businesses that I do. And but they love us. Last night we were on a Virgin dinner with Richard Branson, my buddy, and there was other people there too, and influencers, because it was a new ship, and they were going bonkers for us. So yeah. When if I go to Coral Gables to a restaurant, I always tell Steve, I just want to go to the yacht club because I like to dress like a homeless lesbian, and I don't put makeup on, and I just don't want to be seen. I don't want to have to get all fussied up, because I do it all the time for work. So we don't go out a lot, but when we do, we'll go to the yacht club or we'll go to Hillstone and Coral Gables because Steve loves it, and then I'll wear like a baseball cap and like lesbian jeans and like hide with no makeup.
And you're good to go.
But everybody recognizes me. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. They know who I am. And they're sweet and I'm very kind. to the fans because I'm super appreciative.
Mm-hmm. Well, how do you think your life has changed from being on the show? And if the show had never come, well, how do you think your life would have been any different?
So I always kind of have been in this, like in the spotlight from my early 20s, like just hanging out with Madonna, going to basketball games, going to restaurants, and the paparazzi being there. Then I had a PR firm and I was involved in all this philanthropy. I was in the magazines every week and the newspaper every week. So once the show came around, it kind of just wasn't local. It became international.
Yeah.
But I was kind of used to it. And I've never taken myself very seriously. I'm not an actress. I don't have any awards. There's a million people that do what I do. And for me, I'm just happy that I have a job and a paycheck and I don't have to do PR anymore because it was killing me.
I get that. Yeah. What's one thing you would like to know about the making of the show or some of the cast members that people would be shocked to know or interested to know?
It's not scripted. Everyone thinks this is scripted. It is not scripted. Maybe some people, I feel, and I can tell, they show up and they have an agenda and they're prepared and a whole thing. But for the most part, it's not scripted at all. And for the most part, I don't think that everyone shows up with like a whole thing ready to go. I know I don't. I'm always like, duh, rolling with it.
Who do you text the most? I'm assuming Alexia, but who are the people that are really involved in your life? Like, know the people in it and check in on you.
I think that Larsa makes a big effort to stay in touch. She always has. She's like, hey, boo, what's up? Or she'll call me, I miss you, and we FaceTime. Very sweet. I love Kiki. I feel like she's someone like I like to mentor and protect. We used to talk all the time the first 2 seasons, and then she went through like this whole thing that you saw on the show, and I didn't hear from her for a while, and I didn't know why, and I felt slighted, but we worked it out, and then she explained that she had family issues, and I understood, and she's just a really great human being, and she's grown so much spiritually. She's such a positive person. She's changed so much from day one. And, in the last year or so, Julia, we filmed over a year ago. So I was asked to film with Julia a lot. I don't decide who I film with. I just go where they tell me to go. And I was paired with Julia a lot and I really like her. She was really sweet. She's nice. She's kind. And I enjoyed her company. And so, yeah, I think I've been checking on her more than she has with me lately because nobody needs to check on me. I'm fine, but she's going through hell right now. It's been pretty hard.
Well, when you look back at this season, and I'm sure you feel, because you film it and then everybody else watches it, it's like those 3 tranches. You film it, you see what other people say, and then you see what the other people who are the outsiders think and say. Does it feel like is there a sense of relief when there's an end to a season?
I am enjoying today immensely. Yeah. I am. Yeah, it's very, very nice. And it's nice to have a break between now and starting again. Mm-hmm. I don't know when that will be or if I'll be there, but it's nice to have a break because it's very chaotic and there's a lot of anger and everyone's all over the internet doing things that, I don't like. I feel like everyone needs to keep it together, but don't start arguing all over the internet. It's toxic. And Miami's not a toxic town. Miami's a happy, fun place. I think that shows in our show. There's a lot of comedy. It's a very happy place. Miami, Cubans are happy, fun people. Latinos are happy, fun people. Haitians are happy, fun people. It's like, that's why our show has that energy, because that's the energy of the city.
Well, are we ever going to find out who the Haitian mortician is?
Oh, that's a Julia question. I did ask her, I said, Julia, is that like for real? Is there really a Haitian mortician, or was that just Adriana being funny? And she's like, because I was like, because that's kind of clever wording in it. And I got to give her props if she just came up with that, because that's pretty fucking funny. And she's like, no, she didn't make it up. And I was like, yeah, I didn't think she was that funny.
Well, it's so specific that it
Yeah.
can only be true. But to your point, it is pretty funny. And even at the
Yeah.
reunion, as much as like people gear up for it, there were really quite a bit of funny moments. And that absolutely is one of them.
Well, we all knew when it was happening. We're like, oh God, that's going to be viral. The Haitian mortician.
Then the box with the heart too. I was like, what is this? The props.
She always comes with a ridiculous prop. It's so stupid. I can't with that shit. I can't. Sorry.
What's the one thing about you in your life that maybe you wish people got to see a little bit more of? And you've basically said you love that you're just a friend of and you can kind of dip in and out. But is there one thing about you in your life that you wish people knew?
Well, everyone knows I love to throw a party. I love entertaining, and that's what my PR firm was all about. But I have other businesses. This isn't my only gig, and we don't really show them on the show. So I would love people to know that I have a very successful hair extension company. It's very successful. I am launching. HSN asked me to do a jewelry line for them.
Oh, cool.
I'm going on air on December 9th to launch it. I'm going to be in Pennsylvania in November to do the photo shoot for it. And launching a Mama Elsa caviar line. It's not called Mama Elsa, it's called Elsa Caviar. It's so delicious and divine. And there's a secret marketing component to it, which I can't spill, but it's being worked on. That's why I haven't really talked about it, because when I do it, everyone's going to know.
Is it weird for you to be in the opposite chair, having represented so many different companies, and now you're in the CEO chair?
No, because I always felt like everybody's company was my company, and I owned it, and I put that much love into it as if it was mine, and wanted to make sure it succeeded. What I wish I had done in hindsight, if I could go back with some of the brands, is say like, don't pay me, give me a piece of your company.
Yeah.
There's a few that sold quite handsomely. And I was a big part of me and my company and my staff helping build them up. But you got to pay bills, you got to pay salaries, and you can't afford to really do that.
I know, it would be great though. Well, tell everybody where they can get all of your different products.
Oh, well, thank you. So my clip and extension brand is called Locks in Maine, and it's available at over 500 Ulta stores, and we're going into the Middle East now.
Oh, wow.
We started in Arizona, now it's going across the country. We're in dry bars as an add-on to your blow dry. You get the clip-ins. They're human hair. You can dye them, you can cut them. They're amazing. You can use hot tools on them. They're also sold at Bloomingdale's, HSN, Home Shopping Network online. You can go to Marysol Patton's Instagram, and there's a link to the website for the hair. The caviar is coming soon. You will know it when it launches. I will be doing Instagram posts. It's going to be fabulous. And then, what's my third business? I forgot. What was it I say? I have so many things going. Oh, HSN. Oh, tune in December 9th, Home Shopping Network. I'll be on with my new jewelry line.
And what kind of jewelry is it? Like, what's the style?
I designed all of it. It looks like fine jewelry, but it's costume, very well priced. I'll be on from 7 to 9 p.m. EST, December 9th, Home Shopping Network.
And then where can people follow you on social media?
At MarysolPatton.com. It's Marysol with a Y, MarysolPatton.
I'm so grateful for your time. Really fun getting to know you better.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
The amazing Kate
I want to thank my great guest, Marysol Patton, and remind you to make sure that you click subscribe. Please leave a 5-star review. I love reading through the reviews. I'm so grateful for them. Thank you. If you have not done so, please do one. And then also check out the Facebook group, Reality Life with Kate Casey, where you can talk about this episode and more. And there's always fresh scandals, and you're looking for someone to talk to. And I'm telling you, you've got good people in that group to help you. Also, again, make sure you are subscribed to my What to Watch list at katecasey.substack.com, and also Apple Podcast and Patreon for bonus episodes. Patreon is patreon.com/Kate Casey. And follow me on social media. I'm on Instagram at KateCaseyCA, TikTok, it's Kate Casey, Twitter, Threads, and Blue Sky at Kate Casey. You've got upcoming episodes with Kara Klenk about Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, a wife swap review from Bravo, and plenty more. Check back tomorrow for an all-new episode.